Yeah, guys, TMV needs to make a video about this tomorrow. And if Sentinels lose 13-0, that's like all of the keywords. Sentinels lose 13-0 without tens. Like, that's like a title clout dream. Sentinels lose 13-0 without tens. You can't have a better YouTube video title. Unfortunately for me, Sentinels did not lose 13-0 in this game, so I guess no clout, no views, but they did get absolutely destroyed still by C9, and we're going to take a look at Fracture here, and we're going to start off with the very first round, and really, you know, this first round, 3 players from each team are basically just going to walk into Arcade and just have a little bit of a fight. And this is the thing, right? That, you know, they had an 11-1 half here, C9. And yeah, they had better ideas. They had better util usage. But also sometimes it does just come down to aim as well. Because they're actually not going to use any util here. They just walk out as a kind of 3. And as I said, 3-on-3 with Sassy kind of catching up. And they just managed to find the kills. And really the util, you know, doesn't come out until... really, you know, they've already got the first 3 kills. But what I'm really interested in, the reason I'm kind of showing this round, is just to show you how C9 play in these 5v2s, right? Because C9's discipline here was just really, really good for a lot of the game. And in a lot of these situations, they managed to win a lot of these situations because they play well as a team, right? So we got a group of pair here. We got a grouped up pair here. The one guy who's alone here, Zelsis, he's playing super safe, right? He could not be in a safer position, just, you know, just chilling all the way back here. If the door goes, he'll hear it. If not, his turret will see anyone coming either way here. So he's just in a super safe position. Everyone's playing together, and we can run this a bit forward, you know, a bit quicker now. But you'll see, we're using util, we're still going together, and eventually Sentinels will come over towards the A site instead. But you see, just super, super disciplined. Again, you know, we're just playing in pairs completely the whole time. Eventually, they kind of figure out, this might be an A hit here eventually. And as they come across here, Sentinels, you see they do start to tap the spike. And now we will see again from C9, you know, the util usage. But again, we're going to wait here for our teammates before we swing out, right? Like, we're not giving them any fights. Again, we're still playing discipline. We might as well play as a 5v2. They even let the spike go down here from Zekken. And look, they're just waiting, right? Wait until the pack is kind of fully here. And now they're ready to kind of go as a pack, right? They wait for their util to come down. And now just look at them swarm, right? It's like a big pack. It's just a big swarm. And this is how you play a 5v2. You play as a big swarm because there's nothing you can do. You cannot beat that, right? In a 5v2 like that. Really well played by C9. They don't panic. They just guarantee the round. Okay, now let's come to round number 5, and really C9 for the early part of this game were basically just doing the same idea where they were just kind of constantly walking up through Arcade as a 3. This time it's just going to be the 2 players who decide to go, and they got the Killjoy and Sky here towards A, you know, kind of getting that information for them. Sentinels decide to group up all to kind of towards B main here, and they will just pretty much just go for a B main exec. You see, we walk up here for C9, and again, they're feeling confident at this point. They already won the first map 13-4, and they're in a good spot, and even actually Jake tucks underneath. Here comes the exec from C9, Sentinels. They come in onto the site, but Rooney just threw the smoke, manages to get one, but he does get spammed back, and so we end back up in a 4v4. Jake's going to destroy the turret just there, which does, you know, worry Sentinels a bit, that obviously he could be coming fast on this side. And now we're going to get something pretty smart here, I think, by Leaf, where he pops the Seekers from here. And I believe that the reason he pops the Seekers from here is to see that if, you know, one comes this way or if one comes this way, he's actually on, you know, this side of the map. So if there is like a lurk here or up here, right, that, you know, the Seekers hopefully will tell him, and, you know, that will be closer than these guys on the site just here. But because all 3 come this way, that kind of tells them, or at least I think tries to tell them, that yeah, there is no lurk here, and so you see that information kind of passed along, and they start to fully rotate in towards this B site. But again, it's just the timing and spacing of stuff from C9, which is just really, really good. You're going to see in this round how quickly 3 of these kills come at the same time as the nade comes in and pushes them back on tower. And now we're about to get a raise ult, but again, just the positioning, the spacing, we're going to get a raise ult coming in here, and at the same time, these 2 guys are swinging down here, and you'll see we just get like kill, 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 right? Very, very fast, but everything is just done kind of perfectly in sync, right? So they've got these 2 guys holding here, the raise ult comes out, which probably I think Sentinels might think is actually coming up this way towards these guys, which, you know, flushes them out. Maybe C9 expecting that as well, that they might, you know, have to react to that raise ult sound. Pancata actually does manage to kill Zeppa, but the rocket trades him out, and so we end up in a 3v1. And really the reason I'm showing this round is just keep an eye on Jake's character model here, because he's going to try and headbutt this away. He's going to try and Watch him now in just a second. He's going to try and jump and get it, but he doesn't manage to. And Mollywhopped actually gets that kill on Leaf, but it gets to the half. And Zelsis is going to close this one out on Mollywhopped here just at the end. And again, you just see, like, again, 3 kills just coming in absolute unison from C9. Everyone's going at the same time. Even small little things like Leaf, the way he used his ult there. You know, all those little things are just going perfectly right for C9 right now. And now let's come to round number 9, which is the famous super round. And what we will see in this one is to start off, actually, I think for the first time in this game, but you'll see in just a second that Leaf buys both a gun and an op. So he just drops the gun there and he picks up his op just there, and he's up in towards tower. And yeah, I think this probably was the first time that they did this. So Zekin's going to swing with a breach stun there, but unfortunately for him, Leaf has an op, and so he gets that kill. And what they've got set up on the other side of the map, as you just might have seen there, we've got a Brimult kind of ready to go. Off the turret contact, we're going to get a stun, raise push this way, and a Brimult just there. Very difficult to get out of. Pretty much impossible if you are, you know, pushed up a bit too far. Again, just a nice idea. The Seekers come out as well, and these Seekers are going to be pretty important for this round as well, because you'll see, you know, they're kind of spread out. One comes towards Pancada, of course, one comes towards Def, and one actually goes all the way here towards the drop. And so, because only one has come out this way, again, you're just going to see the confidence coming out here from C9, where Leaf just dry swings this angle, and he's just going to win the fight. Like, it really is just that simple. He just, you know, pretty much knows that, yeah, okay, there's one person here on their own. I'm a better player right now. I'm just going to swing, get that kill, 5v3, just like that. And then Pancada, you know, now we're in a 3v5. Sassy actually has to go and retrieve the spike as well. Turret is going to go off, the contact on the turret. So that's exactly what we get, where the turret goes off here. The stun comes out this way. You see the Raze starts pushing, the Brimult just there. And yeah, that one's gone as well. And to be honest, I agree with Sideshow, who said that they didn't really need to show this in this game. I mean, they were just destroying so much. And then Marv, who had a great game in his first game against MIBR, you know, finding little timings and stuff like that. Well, that didn't happen against C9, because he tries to then jump down here, and, you know, it's just a free kill for Zelsis. And then we end up in a 5v1 for Sassy, and obviously not a great place to be. And again, you see C9 just everything, right? Every little idea they had, you know, whether it be, you know, using the op in tower, that worked, right? Whether it be the fact that Leaf is just gonna, you know, absolutely just swing on you and win that fight anyway, yep, that worked. The little trap play in towards A main, yep, that worked. Then they punished Marv trying to get onto site. I mean, just literally everything going right for them, and this was another flawless round. We're gonna finish off here with round number 12, but before we do, we're going to finish off here with round number 12, but before we do, we're going to first just take a look, because this is the end of round 11, and Sassy has a Phantom, and he's got light shields, okay? Because I just got a little bit annoyed at the buy here from Sentinels, because if we run it forward a bit, you'll see what ends up happening here is that we get to the point where they buy in the round, and we end up with this instead, where, you know, Sassy ends up with full shields, and he has 2,700 credits, so, you know, he could just go with light shields, and he could maybe, I don't know, drop Def a gun who has no flashes on breach. I mean, it annoys me anyway that even if you can't sort that out for Sentinels, I'd just be telling Def, what, I know you're 10-1 down, you're frustrated, all of that, you know, you're not really thinking, but I mean, you're not going to be taking the first fight as a breach. Just pick up someone else's rifle, you know, just like, you're going to need those, like, a Bulldog is fine. Buy flashes. This was just something that just, you know, just annoyed me, because then you're going to see that they end up with a bad exec here, Sentinels, and it's like, well, yeah, you know, just, I mean, obviously confidence at this point was pretty low, but, you know, little stuff like that, it does annoy me. So they fake a bit of pressure here towards B main. They send in that smoke, they send in the stun, so Sentinels kind of reply with a little seasoned stun of their own. And they just kind of, you know, check for any early aggression here from C9. You can see here, Sentinels, they kind of clear out underneath, and then they're actually going to go back here. They place the turret, and they're actually going to just come back and clear some towards A main as well. So just making sure that there's no fast flank. And this is all fine, right? You're just making sure that, yeah, no one's coming down this way. No one's coming fast towards this way. The Seekers come out from C9 there as well. And actually, this is a good timing for Sentinels, because their idea is to go for a B main push. But the Seekers here, you know, kind of mean for C9 that they don't really know what's going on just yet. But they actually do go and take the space up towards drop there as they get that info. The Prowlers come out in A main. Again, Sassy gets that kind of info that nothing's coming close here. But now we're going to get the exec from Sentinels. And you'll see, and I think people were talking about this, that Zekken really struggled here in terms of first kills, first deaths. And it looks a bit like tens and whatnot because he often struggled on this team. I mean, we take a look at this exec, you know, it's smokes and it's one stun in here, and Zekken's going to pop ult and come in. But again, we don't have any flashes, remember, and because Sassy was, you know, coming back towards A main, you know, there's no Fade Haunt with this either, right? They decided, you know, for whatever reason that they couldn't decide, you know, wait for a couple seconds for Sassy to get there as well, so they go in, you know, with basically just a stun and smokes and a raise ult. And, you know, by the time that kind of, you know, the Brimble is really landing, and by the time that the Fade Haunt is actually coming in, you know, we've ended up, Zekken dies by that point. You know, he pretty much dies by that point as he gets spammed down in the smoke, and yeah, he's dead, right? So the Brimble is kind of now going off, the Fade Haunt is now revealing people, but he's already dead. And so, yeah, things just weren't going right for Sentinels. And then I think kind of Marv gets a bit baited in here because we can see that, you know, we do get a reveal here on the raise. And so, you know, as they come in for kind of this second wave, I think Marv here, you know, is, you know, clearly kind of focusing on that and trying, you know, maybe getting a bit tunnel vision there. And so he's going to die coming in as well, running through a Brim Molly. And so that's another kill. Sassy does trade it, and it gets a bit messy here from C9. They get a bit body blocked there. And we end up in a 4v3. Now, this smoke is about to fade here. And Def actually just taps the spike, turns around, and actually does manage to get the kill on Zelsis just there in this fight. So we end up in a 3v3, and now it's kind of winnable. And Pancada, you know, sees an op shot come back at him there. And Zeppa just decides to continue to hold it. Pancada, you know, maybe trying to either take this fight, I'm not quite sure, but he then dies to an op. And now we end up in a 3v2, and they have a pretty good idea of where these players are, but I love this from C9 as well, right? So take a look at these two here. They're going to actually just swap guns, okay? So Zeppa and Rooney swap guns there because Zeppa had an op. So Rooney's now just staring at this, but Leaf has just snuck his way under here. And now just watch Zeppa basically just, you know, make noise, right, and just be a big distraction for them. So you see Zeppa, he throws out a blast back, right, and he's just running around and he throws a nade at them, and now he's gonna, you know, throw another blast back and just shoot bullets, right, and he's just buying time and just like, you know, just stalling because he's allowed Leaf to get all the way up to here. And now that Leaf is in like a kind of, you know, good enough position, it's a stun, and now it's a swing here from Zeppa, and he manages to get that first kill, and now the swing from Leaf is coming as well, and he gets that second kill. And you see how like just all of the cogs of C9 are just working in perfect unison. Everything's just working as a flawless machine. And when we look at this round from Sentinels and, you know, some of the problems they had with their entries and whatnot, you know, we see a bit more maybe of a broken machine as opposed to C9's very clean, well-oiled machine.